If you want to know why Pablo Lopez is the ace that the Texas Rangers need and what it would take to acquire him, then make sure to stick to the end of the video. So as we all know, the Rangers are in desperate need of starting pitching help, and so far Martin Perez and Jon Gray have been pretty good. Obviously Martin Perez was an all-star. Dane Dunning has been mediocre. He hasn't really lived up to my expectations from the Lance Lynn deal, and at the bottom of the rotation, that's where things get really shaky as we have rotated through the likes of Taylor Hearn, Glenn Otto, and Spencer Howard. And Howard and Otto have shown some signs of glimpses, but it's not consistent, and the Rangers need consistent help. You could say the Rangers could ride it out with these guys, see what you get in them, see if they're big leaguers, but this could risk injuries to the bullpen, and I think the bullpen has good guys in there, but they haven't been playing up to their potential because you're having to pick up the slack of the start only going 4 innings, and that can't be consistent. Or you would run the risk factor of having to call up your top prospects when they aren't ready, most notably probably Cole Ragans or Cole Winn. So the Marlins do have a 43-48 record, and they have a 2.8% chance to make the playoffs according to Fangraphs, and that's pretty similar to the Texas Rangers. But I think this is a good trade fit for both teams. The Marlins are strong in starting pitching, and the Rangers are strong in their farm middle infielders, and I think they could line up and make a trade happen. So Pablo Lopez has started 18 games this year with a 2.86 ERA and a 3.55 FIP and a 1.6 WAR, and I think that's pretty similar to Jon Gray type numbers that would definitely be welcomed in the Texas Rangers rotation. He's actually pitching right now as I'm filming the video, and he's only 26 years old, so that's almost the same age as Dane Dunning, and he has 2 more years of team control. If you want to see what a Pablo Lopez trade package will look like to the Texas Rangers, then make sure to stick to the end of the video. So obviously, Pablo Lopez would instantly step into rotation. He would help out this Rangers team, but he has dealt with an injury last year. It was a right rotator cuff strain, which sidelined him for half the season. Although, just because he had that injury, I don't know if I would say he's injury prone. That would make me a little bit more cautious when trying to make the deal. I would like a trade for Pablo Lopez because, like I said, he can eat a bunch of innings. He won't expose the bullpen. He's an easy upgrade over Glenn Otto, Spencer Howard, Taylor Hearn, because the things that we've run into is, say Dane Dunning goes on the IL, then you need somebody to start a game. We don't have that depth in AAA because Cole Winn's not ready, Cole Ragans isn't ready, Jake Latz hasn't done anything this year, so we've had to do bullpen games, and that depletes the game. And then say Glenn Otto doesn't have his best stuff, or Dane Dunning doesn't have his best stuff, then you have to go and kick out the bullpen again, and it hasn't been good for the Texas Rangers, and I don't think it's a sustainable way for the Texas Rangers to just move on into the season. And the good thing about Pablo Lopez is I think he could easily be a 2 or 3 starter on the team next year, because you know that Martin Perez should be there if you extend him. Gray will definitely be there. You got Lopez, not in any particular order, and you should add more guys in free agency and maybe trades in the offseason. So he's not like he'll be a back end of the starter guy. So I would like this trade. And what would a trade cost? In my opinion, I think a fair trade for Pablo Lopez centers around Adolis García, so he can man center field for the Miami Marlins. Justin Foscue, our second base prospect. Sam Huff, our catching prospect, and Glenn Otto, obviously in the starting rotation right now. So the Marlins have been preaching over and over that they need center field help. And yes, you could say Leody Taveras makes more sense because he's younger, more controllable. However, some signs show that the Marlins want to win sooner rather than later. Obviously, they made that Jorge Soler signing, Avisel Garcia signing. They wouldn't be doing those if they wanted to win in 5 years. Adolis could step in and help contribute right away, and he'd be a true center fielder. And the Marlins would get something that they're lacking is young position players. Justin Foscue's ranking in AA right now. Problem with him is that he doesn't have much defensive versatility, mainly locked down to second base, first base, maybe the corner outfield. Obviously, Jazz Chisholm is manning second base for the Marlins, and he's an all-star caliber player, but I think the Marlins could figure it out because I think Foscue's bat does play. And you got Sam Huff. You could roll him out at first base. You could roll him out at catcher. Jacob Stallings hasn't been good this year. Jesus Aguilar is a free agent after this season. So I think Huff does make some sense. And throwing in Glenn Otto, you need somebody to eat up the innings left behind from the Pablo Lopez trade, and not all of the Marlins prospects are exactly major league ready. So I think that can make sense. Maybe they can turn him around because they're really good at developing pitching prospects. If not, he's just a stopgap player till all of their top prospects reach the major leagues. So let me know in the comment section down below. Do you want the Texas Rangers to trade for Pablo Lopez? And if you do, please give this video a thumbs up. If you want to know what a Juan Soto trade package would look like to the Texas Rangers, then make sure to click this video right here. And here is a video that I think you would like.